Yo, welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful episode of D. Rick Presents Moments with Unc. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Virtual Man Cave, y'all. You know how we do. We got our second show. Our first show was Unc's first show was a major success. You know what I'm saying? We had people tapped in, tuned in, and stuff like that. But Unc, how you feeling today, my good brother?
Man, y'all, we out here on location tonight. Why I got the black background is because I'm outside on the patio tonight, hot as hell, and I'm as human as the rest of y'all. The AC went out in the spot today, so
Oh man,
I gotta wait for the AC man to come through and fix this compressor real quick. So I got a fan out here. I got my water. Got my other
man.
essentials, and I'm ready to go, man. Look,
I you know what I call
now
that? I call
one
that
bad monkey
true.
ain't gonna spoil the show, Jay. You know what I'm saying?
I
One
feel
bad
you.
monkey ain't spoiling the show.
This is what we call true professionalism, y'all.
We do what we do when we do.
You know what I'm saying? See, this is the wonderful thing about the virtual man cave. Like I said, we are a collective, we are a group, we are a team, right? Individually, we speak for ourselves, we carry ourselves, but as a totality, we represent the virtual man cave, right? Um, the show must go on. We
Got
must
to.
put out good quality content. Okay. It doesn't matter, like Unc said, if the AC goes out. He's still gonna pull up and show out. All right. You know what I'm saying? This is why D Rigger presents moments with Unc. This is what the OG wisdom comes from. You know what I'm saying? This is you think it's a minor inconvenience for Brody to have his AC not working? Yeah. But he's been through more in life, yo.
Somebody say no. I dare y'all, motherfucker. Come out here in this
But
100 and some odd degree weather, yo, bro. We
the
ain't living happy.
the beautiful
We
part
not
about this,
happy.
Unc had the experience, and I just want to let you know the
The
downside is,
fortitude, baby. The
yeah.
fortitude.
And see,
The
but I want to let
dedication
people to
and the
know,
motivation. We call that motivation.
and I want people to know that this is what you call, home ownership. This is what comes with home ownership, the responsibility of making sure
Them things,
of
them
taking care of
things.
your things when it breaks. So yes, this is a inconvenience. The AC not working, but look at the beautiful thing. We Unc put himself in a
We
position in
got to do the
life.
show.
Yeah,
The virtual man cave must go
it
on,
goes.
baby. Virtual man cave
It goes.
must.
And before we proceed with the show, I just want to let people know that later on this week, we're gonna have the MLB weekly rundown with Nate the Great. That is on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do have Arthur's health and wellness weekly workouts coming up. Hopefully we might have our first show tomorrow around this time. If not, it'll be the following week. And you know how we always do, man. We have the Virtual Man Cave podcast every Saturday at 10 o'clock. We had a wonderful show last week. It was funny, it was entertaining. We had the
Don't
whole
freeze
crew
on
in
me,
there.
Jay.
It's been a while since we
I
had the
ain't
whole
got no
team. I
air
hope they
conditioning, but
yeah,
you got me over here worried, Jay. You over here freezing. Don't do that, man. Look, you freezing, I'm not freezing. You know
listen,
what I'm
you froze up for a
saying?
second.
You frozen, I'm fucking over here melting. Don't do that, man.
Nah,
Let's
we won't.
stay in. That good.
But the first topic on tonight's show, because Unc brought up a good thing he wanted to talk about, and honestly, I've been thinking about this ever since he presented this question, and I need to know what you guys think. What did the 90s have that you wish carried over to the present times? Um,
Now, now these questions that we ask are just again. I'm not out here trying to reminisce, and you know what I'm saying. Everybody think that just because I'm we getting old and we just trying to get back to nah. It ain't about that. But we all are out here with a lot of stuff that we do wish that we saw was carried over, and everybody was thinking like, this is some old times, but as we joke about in the man cave, we from the 1900s, y'all. We from the 1900s. So, but what I would like to know is, there's a few things that for me, it's primarily music. It's primarily music, but there's a lot of things that should have been carried over from the 90s to now, that we could have celebrated.
You
So my
know,
question to everybody is what happened in the 90s that
you know what I
you
miss?
would like?
You know what
And
I miss,
yeah,
Unc?
what you would do? What you miss?
I miss the prices. I wish the cost of living. I could get a dollar slice of pizza, bro, back in the 90s.
See,
I can't,
it's hard to really remember. Hey, yo, Jay, this is what's crazy. Like trying to think about it as we were living it. I ain't gonna say that we were kids, but I was in my 20s.
nah, in
All
the
right,
90s,
but
I was a teenager.
all
You know
right,
what I'm
so
saying?
whatever age you was, like imagine if you was an adult in them times, Jay. Like you said, but cost of living probably was pretty good. But let's be real about that, Jay. What was minimum wage at the day?
Oh, nah, minimum wage back
Three
then, man,
twenty
it was
five, wasn't
humbling.
it?
It was like four and a quarter, man.
If it right, if it
Five
was, if
fifteen.
it right.
If you was making 5.15, you was good.
So again, these are some of the things I know. There's a backlash to it. Of course,
So
we understand it. Life has
nah,
ascended, and as things ascend, we should
all jokes
respect it. But
aside
but
though.
I'm with you on that, Jay. We could go back
Nah,
to some
all
prices.
jokes aside though, do you know what I really miss about the 90s? Um, it was more a sense of community pride, love and loyalty amongst you and your neighbors and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It was more of a kinship. We
I
wasn't
don't know.
individualized.
I would say like when I grew up, I was born in '66, and in the '70s, what my thing about like what you were just saying, Jay, community was in Staten Island and in New York. I remember the block parties. Remember the block
Mm,
parties, Jay?
of
Remember
course,
how they used to
man.
have block parties? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, the
Everybody that
best thing in the
all of our
world, man.
all of New York, shout out everybody in New York. I mean, because that was all five boroughs. If you think about it,
Yep.
we used to have block parties, yo. We play, yo. It wasn't no thing for you to tell somebody don't go down North Burger, don't go down Wayne Street. We gonna block all that shit off. It's gonna be people out there. Ain't no thing that used to go up to Jersey Street or go down to Topville somewhere. They might have. There's gonna be a block party. Go into the city, where the brownstones were, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
wherever where all the nice lineup, where everybody was out there. They take one, go down to one block, take that street down, yo. You know,
Now,
stickball opened up
one
hydrants and music all over the place.
one thing I don't miss about the 90s though, I will tell you this though, I don't miss. I remember Manhattan in the 90s. That was definitely Gotham City. If you was in Manhattan
I can't call any of that because I was in Okinawa at the time. I can't.
yeah,
I was in
see,
the Air Force at the
this is
time,
why
so
we
I
call
couldn't
you
even
Unc,
tell you.
man. This is why
Right,
you're well
right,
refined,
right. But this is
you
why
know.
I'm asking the question too, because I missed out. I need y'all to understand. We was watching y'all on BE. We was watching y'all whatever little BET we could get overseas. We was watching everything that was
Man,
going down in the '90s and trying to emulate what was being dressed, what we was hearing. We was trying to bring it over,
and
and
then
just
just the
imagine, and then watching the Japanese trying to emulate us.
the,
You
the
know what I'm
dress
saying?
code, the culture, the music,
Yo,
camaraderie,
bruh,
the food,
from the big
um,
clothes to the big
yeah,
jerseys,
cross
everybody was
colors and
wearing
stuff like
jerseys.
that.
Yup.
Jabot jeans, Gap jeans, and stuff like that. It was um
Again, if you're tuning in, just say something in the chat. Throw a little something out. If you had something in the '90s that you wanted to bring back right now, Jay said it was prices.
I want the prices to
Jay said
come
if we
back.
could have prices, we do those.
Listen,
So if
if
you
I could
found
just get a
something that
good
you think
slice
in
of
the
pizza.
'90s that you like to bring back,
So I'm gonna tell you how it really was.
I'm gonna say
I
the music,
remember.
Jay. I ain't gonna lie, I'm still into the music, Jay.
Oh no,
I
I
think
definitely
that
with
if
the
we could
music,
brought
but
back
I'm gonna
all
tell you
that
how real it
music, if
is.
we could brought back that '90s music, yo,
So
bro,
I'm not gonna talk about. We don't give shout outs to companies and brands and stuff like that because
true
they
that.
not funding us, right? But I remember I used to be able to get a two cheeseburgers, right? Large fries, large Coke for
$4.
three for $3.24. This is how you let you know I was broke in the '90s, kid. I was, like I said, I was a teenager, so those were my broke days.
But
Now that
everybody
same,
could, Jay. Everybody could.
but guess what? That same meal in that same establishment costs $10.25 now.
Can't think about the day. You only thinking about the '90s. That's why the show. That's why we live with. Because if we try to go to the day, you be sitting there shaking your head and knocking every last left marble in your head right out of it. Because it don't make
Um,
no damn sense, bro.
do you know what I really miss too about the '90s? Another thing that which is, but I also appreciate about this era now. I wish kids went outside and played more. Um, that was fun. Like
That
in
might
the
have been the end.
'90s.
But you know what, Joe? I tell you what, though, Jay. I think at that point in the '90s, this is when there was a decline in that. I feel like the '90s was the point where we started keeping kids inside. And I'm gonna tell you where. I like your thought, but this is what I
Right.
think. Where did you usually play basketball at when you first started learning how to play ball?
Oh, I was in the park.
Right? I would
Yeah,
say you were at some park
yeah, I was in the
with a
park
chain
hooping.
link fence on some asphalt somewhere, or
Yeah.
if it was a project, it was a little park, a basketball court in between buildings. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That was two courts.
Yeah.
Shout out to the West Brighton projects because I know we had there was two over there that we used to go to, or we used to go to PS 18, or we'll go down to the Markham homes and play on the courts that are out there. When I got to California, we played on the outside courts at the elementaries and the
Now,
middle
did you
high and the
see
middle
when you was
schools
out
that was
there?
around.
Did you see Sidney Dean and Billy Ho?
I didn't see any of them, but there was a lot of great
Nah, listen, I'm making
basketball
shit.
stars out there,
Nah,
baby. You
Sidney
know what I'm
Dean.
saying?
Sidney Dean. That's Wesley Snipes from White Man
I
Can't
know who
Jump.
they was. Yeah, man, there was a lot of great basketball stars out there, baby. With their little turned around bicycle hats on. I knew who you was talking about. Believe me.
No,
I only stopped watching TV a little while ago. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I
I don't watch it now.
I don't know what decade you stopped watching TV. It might have been 1980. I don't know.
Shit, yeah, could should have been, but it's all good. But yeah, so
Nah,
if y'all think about it, man, we won't stick on it too long. We just if there's a question, come back. If anybody's on
yeah,
watching, find up in the chat, climb up in there, tell us what you miss about the '90s and
but
what you wish we could have carried over to today. We'll see what else
I
we
don't
got.
know. I will also say the level of respect that we had for our elders. You know what I'm saying? Like in the '90s, like I said, I was a teenager. Even though we was out there, and when I say teenager, I turned 13 in '93. 93, 94, 95. So on after that. Um,
It's respectable.
even though we was young and reckless and we carried our ways, as regular teenagers, when we saw our elders, we knew better not to cuss, pull your pants up, act accordingly, get some act right. That is somebody's mother, somebody's aunt. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some act right. And as soon
Right.
as they walked away, we back to our regular shenanigans. Yeah, that's another thing I wish we carried over to the present times.
But well, I think that also comes down to what you were saying again, Jay. Everything kind of correlates to in a big circle. Like in this case, in the '90s, what was there a big input of both parents
Community.
going out and earning incomes in the family? And if you want to attach anything to the '90s, you got to attach latchkey kids to the
Yeah.
'90s. You got to catch. I mean, honestly, this is where a lot of us grew up because we didn't have anybody in the house to really direct us to what we had to do. They told us what to do.
Now,
Leave the
now, listen.
bullshit.
Leave that
I'm
old
not
shit where
saying
it
you say
belongs.
leave it where old shit. Some
Listen,
old shit needs
all
to come
right. So
forward though.
we not talking about
Yeah,
nothing
yeah. Old shit.
nostalgic
Some
and
old shit needs
old.
to come forward.
Yeah, we just talking about certain mannerisms and aspect. We not talking about nothing about technology and stuff like that. None
Hey,
of that.
well,
Just
you know what?
certain things.
Let's don't call out who wrote it, but let's ask this question: what old do you think that we would want to bring back that we did back then? That's old school that you wouldn't want to bring back. I'm with Jay on this one. Respect. Jay, I think that was I think that was the main part of what you were saying. Bring back the respect, bring back the fact that younger folks respected older folks no matter what age they was, and they didn't
Yeah,
show had there was no turn around and speak back to somebody, or say something under your breath and sneak off and say, or even cuss. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you might have cussed amongst your friends. We all did. Let's don't be running around here thinking that we siphon anything. We all did, but you don't do that in front of the little kids and the older adults. You
yeah.
find your way to be you
We
find your way to be a little bit more polite.
we was
That's
living by
not the
Tony
case these
Montana
days.
rules. No women, no children.
I ain't no. I'm not down like that. I really need all them. I need all of those heads to run around.
That's what we talk about,
Yeah.
Leo.
See, okay, that's what
Get
we
it,
talking about.
get an
That's what we
eye jam.
talking
Bring
about.
back an eye jammy.
Yeah, yeah. Now they might not
Some people
look.
need an
I
eye
know some
jam.
people be like, oh yeah, let it be. Listen to me.
Nah,
I'm gonna
listen.
promise you this. I ain't
I,
never met anybody. I ain't never met anybody who was terrible, horrible, done a lot of things that had always or was always known that if they was gonna mess up while they were a child, they was gonna get their ass tanned by an adult in their vicinity. Now check me, y'all, because I know a lot of y'all don't understand where I'm coming from, but I'm from a city, I'm from a place where my aunts, my uncles, my next door neighbor, my grandma's oldest friend that lived 15 doors down, or my mom's close girlfriends who lived 5 doors up, or my dad's friend's brother who knew all the kids, who saw us out there cutting the food, and come over there and snatch us up by the collar or the corner end of our pants and say, "Hey, look here, little Bill. You better straighten the eye, get pop you in the ass and send you home, and then say, I'm calling your mama and your daddy, telling you out here cutting a fool. Knock it off, because you know Miss Gail is sitting right there. Half of y'all had a Miss Gail. I know y'all did. And who was she? You know who Miss Gail was the lady who sat out there on the stone, who knew all your mamas, knew all your daddies. And if one of y'all little monkey ass kids asked her, she was calling them. As soon as she got in there with that long ass telephone cord that came from the kitchen all the way out to the fucking middle of the street so that she could go
yeah.
out there and go stop the truck when she needed to while she was
I,
still yelling at somebody on the phone. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. Talk to me.
I know. You get them swift licks, yo.
Hell yeah. And then she reaching out with the stick, and she got a switch. Somebody got a switch laying there somewhere by the door, by the goddamn, you know what I'm saying? In the foyer, waiting for your ass to come through the front door so grandma grab that shit and whoop
Yo,
your ass.
forget ACS. Let me whip my kids a double crooked letter in peace. I mean, that's true, man. I mean, that's where a lot of things messed up at when you started kids was able to say, hey, my mama beat me, and then they come in and they check the mother. No. Why did you get beat? You probably deserve to get beat. Don't be sitting here mean talking about I got her. No. My mama beat
And
me
I'm
for this and for
sure
that.
somebody, and look, Jay, you know what's even worse? There's somebody out there listening to the, y'all niggas want to talk about doing some child abuse shit. Let me tell y'all something, man. You know what? If y'all stop thinking the negative of what this is a correctionary process that put everybody in place.
Hey,
This
uh,
is how things was done to get people right.
I'm
And
gonna keep
y'all
it a
worried
hundred
about
with you.
ACS? ACS should have came and got people who didn't do what they needed to do. That's what I think.
I'm gonna be
Me.
real with you. I'm gonna keep it a hundred with you. Did I probably, by today's definition, stuff with child abuse? I probably did, but you know what? I'd rather my mama beat me than the correction officer. I'd rather I'd rather
You
my
wasn't
mama
getting
beat me
that
than the
wasn't a whoop
police in the
that was a
street.
whooping, Jay. There's a difference between getting beat
Yeah,
up and then there's a difference between that and a whooping. A whooping is something you
exactly.
deserve, damn it.
Yeah, that extension cord
But
hurt, but it did its job.
now look,
You absolutely
everybody is
right.
gonna laugh, and listen, I promise you, if we was in a room with 100 people, 60 of them will be, yeah, I agree with the extension cord, and the other 40 it'd be like, that's abuse.
Not
Look at
abuse.
here,
That
y'all.
saved my
Y'all better
life.
always remember where our mamas and daddies came from. And you knew that the first thing they found that if they could grab it, they was gonna whoop your ass with it.
Listen,
Was it a hanger? Was it a fucking shoe? Was it the extension
Whatever.
cord?
Was
Was
it
it
the
a
phone
brush?
book?
Was
Was
it
it a
a fork?
magazine?
Was it a big wooden
Was
spoon?
it the big wooden
Asses
spoon or the
got
fork? Come
whooped.
on, son.
Asses got whooped.
And listen, don't
Beat.
get in trouble at the family reunion because now you just got to run the gauntlet. You just going through the whole gauntlet, just getting beat.
Hey man, get whoopsies. So that's cool. But look, there's still more besides getting your ass whooped in the '90s.
Listen, a chop to the neck. Yeah, yeah. They them chops to the neck.
Oh shit, yo.
My D voice ain't biologically.
That's why it ain't biological. Yeah, yeah. You
Listen,
got your
them
Barry White voice. You got your Barry White voice for not for not cleaning your room.
look,
Whatever, whatever, baby.
yeah, I talk raspy, but learned the lesson. That's what I'm talking about. You learned the life lesson. Don't talk back. Don't talk back. And you know what? When you got judo chopped, it helped you out in life. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got bass in your voice. So when you do some public speaking, people know to command and respect you. It was twofold. You learn respect,
Until
then you
somebody
earn
scare you
respect.
and you go when you let up one of them high pitch high eyes on their ass, huh?
But nah, there's a lot of things that we could bring back from the '90s to today. But there's also a lot of things that I want to keep in the '90s. Okay, that stop and frisk, leave that in the '90s. We don't need
Or
that.
that we need you leave all that shit back then. Yeah,
Leave that
shit.
way
You
back
leave all
there.
that. Yep,
I
we
don't want
leave all that
dude.
shit back there.
Listen, shout out to everybody who grew up in New York during the stop and frisk era. Yo. That was real. We survived.
Shit,
That was a
wow.
exceptional wild west moment. But on to a lighter note though. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna smooth it out a little bit with this next question. I think it's another good one. Like I said, Unc really had me. This is why he's the OG of the crew because he had me thinking like, who's my top?
All right,
Who's
ladies
my
and
top
yeah,
three or
all
five?
right, people, here we go. Here we go.
Who are your
Again,
top 3 to 5
I'm all about music, y'all.
R&B female groups?
Not just rap. And no solo acts. I don't want no solo acts. No Mary J.
So
Blige, no Whitney Houston, no Mariah Carey's. It's got to be two or more women in the group, and they don't have to be in no particular order. But either your top three, if you can go to five, you can give me five. Hell, I know. Well,
so you know
I
who's
don't
my
know some
first
of the shit
choice?
some of the shit some of these people listen to now, Jay. I don't even know if they remember
They
half
don't.
the groups they can.
But you know what the
I'm a
first group?
snap.
You know what the first group
Who
that
me?
came? Now I'm gonna tell you the first group that
You
came to mind. I
who?
first thought of when you said it, SWV.
That gotta be one. They gotta be in there.
SWV.
SWV is in the list. They definitely in there.
Then I was thinking of like who was another phenomenal dope group to me. I'm gonna have to say In Vogue.
Good choice, Jay.
Um, then I'm not gonna lie. I I thought about what's their name? I, I thought about Escape. You
I
know,
can't argue. If you don't so far if you don't like either one of these three, you really hate. They was
and
good
then
singing groups. I
and
liked
then
it.
I
Yeah.
couldn't like I don't know if we put this group with R&B or if we put them with hip hop. But I have to include them TLC.
That's a female group, then that's fine.
Yeah.
That's a group. They're a group because they sang a
Um.
lot. And honestly, so far you got three of my five in your singing because TLC goes right up there with me too. TLC is by far one of the
Then
better female groups that ever been out there.
and then I have to throw in um just because of my era and the time frame I listened to it. I'm gonna say Brownstone
If they know, if they know,
if they
do they
know. If
know? That's what I
they
said.
don't
If they
know,
know,
son.
if they
Um.
know, I'm sure you'll be getting some accolades for that pick.
And then I also like this is a sleeper right here. Not too many people may know about them or remember them, I should say. But remember Changing Faces? Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
all of this, everything you named, bruh.
Yeah,
And to
that's
think they only had two, and to think they only had two albums. They only had two albums.
and they could
This is
sing.
the thing about these female groups that kind of like the ones that you named in the beginning had a little bit of longevity, at least 3 or 4 albums to their name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to me, I think they all got cut off because there was some groups that you hadn't even named yet that I was kind of, check it out. One of the more popular groups back in the day had a real nice step that they can get. I'm gonna name two of them right off the top. The first one is Jade.
Mm.
Don't walk away.
Don't walk away. Don't
Listen,
walk
I
away.
have their albums. They got two albums.
Mm. Come
Them
on,
girls
son.
can sing, bruh. Them girls who used to blow. So I'm kind of mad that they didn't blow up. Total.
Yo,
I ain't out now. We can hate on Puffy all we want,
yo, you know what's
but
funny?
total,
I was
total,
just thinking, I was like, yo, I didn't say total. Dang, I didn't say
total.
total.
That's
Can't you
yo, bruh.
see
Yeah,
what
bruh.
you do to
If you
me?
can't add them, you got some issues.
Mm.
Look, I like to dance around a lot, but I got a bunch of them. I ain't go top five just because I know I got a top five, but I'm just gonna say that
Yeah,
should
that
be
wasn't
some
my top
honorable
five. That was just the
mentions.
ones I could really think of.
Yeah, yeah, yo.
Excuse me.
Cut close. That used to sing with that used to
Ooh.
sing with Keith Sweat. One album, bruh. And them chicks used to blow. Cut close.
Hold up.
Everybody knows them.
Wait,
Everybody knows them.
wait.
Nobody can sing. What?
Next, look at this comment. I'm not even gonna read it, y'all. We
Yo, yo, yo,
listen.
wait. We can't disagree, but we
Oh,
there, there's two of them. There got to be two that you got to take. You ain't
listen.
gonna say can't look. Candy Burst was
Uh,
always cute.
uh, I gotta put a disclaimer out there. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. We speak for ourselves and we don't speak for our guests and for the people who comment. Okay? That is their opinion and how they feel. So yes, some of them might not have been
Say
as
what y'all
attractive
want,
as the
but
rest
nobody,
of them.
none of us are going to jail for y'all monkey asses. So just
Yeah,
remember
pretty
that.
much.
There it is. There was my
Yeah.
AJ. What I was talking about. This was the
Hey,
other group.
Mr. DJ,
Jeanne.
you can get it
Jeanne,
started.
bruh.
Everybody
This
ready
was
to.
another group that got cut off way too early. Them
No.
two girls right there, and they could play music. That's another good group. Something just before a little bit. It was the end of the '80s, beginning of the '90s. Climax.
Oh,
Meeting in the ladies' room, and I miss you. You know that's the love song of the
wait.
Philippines.
That was them.
Climax,
Wow.
climax.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you already named, and then a couple more like you already named. Brown. Those are girl group that. There was a few that were coming out of the West Coast, like YNV. Um, who else was I thinking of right
All
off
right.
the top of
Just
my head,
cause
sir?
just cause I like one of their songs, I gotta put them up there. Um, the Jones Girls. Nights over Egypt. Boom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom.
But people listen to them.
Doom
That's
doom
what I'm
doom
saying. So
doom.
they could go in there. You know what I'm
Doom doom
saying?
doom.
Then you got
Yeah,
the man.
yo.
Look, and then so you figure. So you got check it. You got Vanity and Apollonia Six.
Mm.
You got
All right.
on right, and then yeah, you got them because they was bumping. So
So where we put the Pointer Sisters? Are
they're
they are
80s. They're 80s. but they had some late '90s hits, so that puts them in there. That puts them right up in there. You know what I'm saying? You can classify them in there. R&B, bruh. And the Pointer Sisters are part of that legacy. So that's almost the same thing as saying Sister Sledge. But I do believe that the Sister
Hmm.
Sledge, Pointer Sisters thing is more 70s, 80s than it is 90s. So I,
Okay.
I want to be fair to that. I want to be fair. Not that they don't belong up in there, but they're more of the 70s and 80s genres than they are of the 90s. I think where we were kind of, li- belies that right there.
We can't forget, even though um what's their name? Destiny's Child.
They gotta go on the yo, bro. If you don't count them, I think you're messing up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had to pay some bills somewhere. And oh four there was five
Yeah.
at the time when it was Destiny's Child. At that time, there was five of them, wasn't it? So
Then
I give it
okay,
and listen, and they were all listen, and everybody could talk all that mess about who shouldn't have been in the group and who had to leave and what that happened. But they was all cute at the time. And you didn't think about Beyonce's monkey ass all by herself because there was five cute ass women in that group. So that's
so
good.
now do they count because they was a popular group? I don't know if we're gonna count what you call it. If you want to be my lover, you
You talking
gotta
about the
get
Spice
with my
Girls?
friends. Yeah,
Are you counting them R&B?
I I'm gonna say no.
Then they can't be counted. I ain't gonna say they shouldn't be in the list because
Right.
I like the Spice Girls. I think the Spice Girls
I
had a
don't.
couple of nice hits.
They had some hits.
But I liked it. But see, again, I'm different than a lot of people, and I think that a lot of people know me. I'm very eclectic with my music. My shit, it goes in many
I
ways,
mean,
many places.
they
So I
they
say,
definitely had the Spice
but they
Girls
not
had some
R and
hits.
B.
I don't think they're R&B though.
But they not R&B. I wouldn't put them in there. They not getting that kind of accolade. That's a pop group. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So they can stay they pop ass right over there.
What about? Did we mention 702?
They didn't get called yet, but you can call on 702 because you know how I feel. You know where I go. You know what I'm saying?
What
Because if
about
my name was Skeeter, I could get
what
the
was that song?
Skeeter.
What was that group that did that song with Nas? Allure.
See, yeah, see? You're naming the color. But my question
Allure.
is this to y'all. This is my question. What happened? Just like the question I had the other week, last week, I was talking about the top rappers that we knew. But there was
Mhm.
like my next question is gonna be, and y'all know it should be, what are them R&B groups, them male R&B groups that y'all going to name? You know what
Oh,
I'm
now we're gonna
saying?
say that for next week. We ain't even gonna
That's
talk
what I'm
about that
saying.
this
I'm
week.
not trying to pull them out right now, but
Yeah.
I'll give y'all a forewarning. Music is gonna be one of these things we pop over to because I'm gonna need to know if do black people like guitar players, and if you do, who
Mm.
do you like? And I don't care what kind of guitar it is. That's one of my. These are one of
See.
my upcoming show questions, y'all. This
Okay.
show is not like every other show we
Because
do. It's gonna
you
be
know
a
who I
little
was thinking
different. We're
of
gonna
right off
ask
the
some
bat.
questions.
See, when you
Yeah.
said that, you know who I was thinking of? Boom, 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 boom.
You could be Bootsy.
Uh,
Everybody like
Boosie.
Bootsy. Everybody
I
like
only want to
Bootsy.
be with you. That's my man right there.
So that's what I'm saying. So as far as the guitar, bass, whether it's bass or if it's a rather regular lead or rhythm guitar, whoever you feel like, as a guitar player, R&B work. Most people don't talk about this stuff because a lot of times we in R&B don't listen to primarily a guitar riff. We are steady beats. We are
So,
steady into the drum, you know what I'm saying? And then
do
if
you
the
know what?
flows are good with it.
You know what's a good thing I think we should do next week?
What that?
When we talk about the R&B singers, there's a couple of young gunners out here right now that are fire. Like there's some young dudes out here now that is getting back to the code of R&B.
Hey, all right. So understand that this is called D Riggers presents Moments with Unc. Jay is my executive producer, so he comes with these. He's trying to lead the show his way. Y'all got to understand. That's why
I'm
Jay throwing
I'm
these little.
definitely not.
He
Definitely
like
not.
he
I'm
like
trying to add a
he
little
got that
sauce.
little. You see that little fishing line? He says,
Little
"Swing."
sauce.
He
No,
trying to set the
because
hook on y'all. Don't let him
no,
set that
because
hook
what I
like that. Don't let him
no,
set that
what
hook.
it'll be a good look because it bridges the old with the new. It lets people know that, well, like you said, music is
You might
time.
have to hook me up. Maybe one day I could get my. I got. But here's the good thing about that one, Jay. I'm gonna try to go out of my way because I got one of them young gunners that sing,
Hey, Mandy,
who's
we
related to
appreciate you
me.
tapping in. Yeah,
Mandy, I know you know
TLC.
some more. I know you know some more female groups that you like. She said, and we already went there, did them. Jay said them,
'Cause
Mandy. He tried to
I
sneak them in
really
before he didn't see
miss
them. He went
you,
in.
Mandy. When are you coming back home? A- Every time Mandy joins the group, we're gonna sing that song, okay? We're just gonna do that.
Oh my God. But yeah, so oh man, Jay, I was trying to pull a couple out of my head, but now we just started going all over the place. So it ain't enough for me to pull up anymore. I can't think of anything else. You got any more
Nah,
that you
yeah.
come up the top of your head?
Nah, I can't get, any more female groups right there. But I think that list was pretty solid that
Hey,
we
let me
had.
ask you a question. Here's a fair question for you, Jay. Though I'll ask
Talk
this
to
one.
me.
Do you think that salt and pepper belong in that?
No, they're
You gonna
rappers.
stick them? They could
I'm giving
literally
them
nothing else.
I'm I'm giving them respect as rappers. Their
Oh,
pen
no doubt.
game, their
Right.
pen like they had a few R&B songs like What a Man, that song.
That
But
cut that they reached the pop level or they reached
yeah,
the chart
but
levels with it.
when
I
they
get it.
so and Pepper said, you know what I'm saying? That Push It. That's a hip hop song. So I gotta, and I
So
don't
you,
want
but
to.
you don't think it qualifies them, and you don't, can we? Because we put TLC in there.
But TLC had more. They were singing. They did a
So
lot more
more, but
singing.
okay, so they were more
Um,
performing.
and the only reason why I don't want to put Salt and Pepper in the R&B category, because I want to give them respect as as dope female rappers.
Okay, that
I
makes
want to
that.
give them that
Hey,
moniker. Like they
I'm
like
not as
MC Light,
argumentative. I'm not
Queen
as argumentative
Latifah.
as Troy is. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I feel
Like
you.
when I think of like when I think of female MCs, I think of MC Light, Queen Latifah, Roxanne Shante, Salt and Pepper. Um,
Come on, man. You forgot Cardi and Megan and Nicki Minaj.
what's the name of this show?
It's moments with.
Okay, so as we talk about the OGs, we ain't talking about the new schools. I'm giving homage to
Oh,
what I
that's what
grew
you
up on.
consider that monkey ass is his new school.
No, Cardi B and Nicki
Oh, okay.
Minaj. I
Well, I
can't
guess
put
okay.
them.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
talking about from my era. I can't
No,
put them
no,
in the.
no.
I can't put them
I
with
see
the
where you. That's
Moni
where
Love.
I see where you slid to. I got you.
Yeah,
I
like you know
see
what I'm
I
saying,
see
the
what
Moni
happened there.
Love and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
even if I say I don't want to mispronounce her name. Um, Rhapsody.
Oh, that's Rhapsody. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, she's nice. Oh, what's the chick that used to run with Busta Rhymes in Flip Mode?
Oh, that's Rod Digger. That's
Rod
Rod
Digger.
Digger. Yo.
Um,
That's the for real right there. Yo,
those
Rod
who are,
Digger.
they pen game is dope. So that's why, and I put Salt and Pepper in that group as dope female rappers and stuff like that.
Makes sense. Makes good sense. Makes good sense. I know there's more out there. We already. Yeah. You gotta love Mandy. Look, that's some telepathy right there, because she was thinking just what we already said.
Come on, man, you already know. This is why she's perfect for the show.
Right on top of it, yo.
So this this segment of the show right here is pretty much one of the heart and souls and the reasons why we came up with this with Unc's podcast right now. Cause we joke around a lot of times we call Unc OG old head, and we make fun of he was born in the 1860 in the 1800s and stuff like that. But we do that out of a sign of respect and honor that we appreciate one day we can get to his age and have this guidance and wisdom of life experience. So right now, the next segment right now is called Unc's Words of Solid Advice about patience and self-control.
All right, and kind of hard to walk in and just give everybody plain advice about what it is. But the first thing you got to understand is that in order to be good at what you are and who you are, you need these two things to be self practiced all the time. And it's self patience and self control. You got to learn how to control yourself, people. Honestly, when it comes down to meeting people in public, being able to have a one on one conversation with others, being able to meet new people in some places, things ain't always going to go the way that you expect them. And you got to be able to, at least if you can't control the all around situation that's going on around you, be able to control yourself so that you don't have to be affected around or by what's going on around you. At least you'll be able to get yourself, if there's something wrong, out of the way of what's going on around you. Every person should learn how to have self control. And the first thing you need to do is learn how to listen, learn how to take commands and orders from those that you need to listen to without always having to think that it's something bad about what you're having to do or if it bothers you to do those things. Most folks who are trying to tell you to do something probably have a good reason why they tell you. Hopefully, it's not for the worst case scenario reasons, taking advantage of you, trying to intimidate you, trying to make you feel less than who you are. When people are telling you to do things that you feel fall in those categories right there, Jay, this is you already put the disclaimer out there, right? So I can say whatever I want, right? Why
Yes,
you say
sir. I already said a
wait,
disclaimer,
wait?
my
You
good
supposed to
brother.
either say yes
I
or
already
no.
said it. Yes, sir. I already did it.
So the disclaimer allows me to go where I want to go with this, right?
Hey, say what you want to
Look here,
say,
man. This
kid.
is what I'm saying. This is my show. This is my advice. All right. So if you know that these three things, somebody's disrespecting you, somebody's trying to hold you down, somebody's trying to bully or intimidate you, them. But understand how to control yourself when you do say or you do recognize when you have to tell somebody to go off. Okay? Have control, have patience. Yeah,
I
there
be
you go. Right.
wilding, though.
Hey. Yo, yeah, exactly. I be wilding, but when the police come, I have self control. How you doing, Mr. Officer? And as soon as he walk off, you know what I'm saying? I got y'all. I felt that. That was real. And I like how you brought that. But y'all think about how real that statement is. You got to learn how to control yourself in those situations. Oh, you don't never apologize for showing up. You at the party
You are
now?
never late. You are
Be
always
the
on
party.
time with the virtual man cave.
Be the party. There you go. So again, self-control is one of the main things. And then patience, ladies and gentlemen. Not everything is going to happen as fast as you want it to, if that's the situation. And honestly, if you didn't prepare for these things to happen very fast, they won't. So you got to think about what it is. And then when you come upon that thing or whatever it is that your patience is being tested, figure out what needs to be done and what your end point is and pace yourself to get it. You don't got to go fast. A lot of times people think they got to hurry up and get, you can't always hurry things. Sometimes you got to see how the process works in order for you to then recognize and appreciate what is about to come to you. It's kind of a little bit of like a manifestation, you know what I'm saying? You start thinking good about how you want things to happen to you. So you think about all the things that build up to a great response or a great reaction to whatever it is you're thinking about. You think about how you can build those things up. Keep thinking about those things. Be patient about those things coming through to you. And usually, I'm not saying all the time, but usually, the things that you manifest, that you're patient and waiting on and working toward to get, you will get this.
That is, yeah. That's what usually happened when you grew up in the '80s and the '90s, yo. You
I
manifested.
can see ass having whelps because it's bad as hell. Yeah, I got that. I got that. Yeah, yeah. So, oh man, it's so bad. If the police show up, you've lost control. If the police show, yeah, if the police got to
Well,
be,
I
because they
mean,
ain't got no
sometimes they just
control.
be
So yeah,
around.
you definitely was in it.
They just be around
No, no,
sometimes.
no. Well, usually when they don't need to be, but yeah, Jay, yeah, yeah. When you need them to be, they ain't never there. You know what I'm
Ain't never there.
saying? They ain't never
But
there.
but
Motherfuckers
we
weaving all
appreciate
in
that.
front of you. They weaving that. Yeah.
Listen, we appreciate those wise words about patience and self control, and we've seen how you little dabble in there a little bit of manifestation. You know what I'm saying? You gotta speak your reality before you claim it. You know what I mean? And that's real.
And again, y'all, hey, and for those of y'all who, I just want for us to all grow and be able to
When the
enjoy
police
life
show
the way we're
up,
supposed to.
manifest your track abilities. Shakira
Think I run
Richardson.
fast. I think I run fast.
Shakira
I think I
Richardson.
run
I run like
fast.
Shakira Richardson.
I think I jump higher. That fence is low. That's the smallest fence I ever seen. It gotta be a school fence. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but again, um, I'm a realist, but I do believe that if our mindset is of positive things, my inner bolt. There you go. Well, go. I wish I had it with a finger. I got to point it and look at it. Okay, there you go. So but y'all joking around, but in real sense, if y'all are doing that, watch what happens.
Oh yeah.
if you think if you want to be a bolt, motherfucker, be a bolt.
So
Go
no,
out there and do what you got to do. Yeah.
let me ask you this, how much manifestation and positive energy was OKC putting out there? Because I
Boy, they needed
personally think
everything they could because I'm gonna tell you, it took that whole gym to manifest Tyrese Halliburton's Achilles tendon go pop when he made that step. Cause in the first quarter, hey, I do believe my man was trying to make sure that that title overrated was thrown right. Yo, I give this to Tyrese Halliburton. There was a lot of times where that dude disappeared in this series, but a lot of times that man, when the calling needed to get called, he showed the hell up. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't think he should have played Game 6. But it is obvious. It is obvious. That dude is the heart of that team. And he did really good to get them well. Them some ugly ass sneakers. And I have to agree with Nick Van Exel. If they were high tops or mids, I don't think he would have been hurt. I agree with
hey,
him. I
hey,
agree with
listen,
him.
we've been
I
saying
agree
that
with
for
him.
forever, yo.
And I take that back. Holly ones are not bad. I heard they discontinued him right after his Achilles popped though.
Listen, they need to do that all the time. Every time a
As
player
soon
get
they
hurt,
yo,
get rid of his sneaker.
they said that Puma discontinued them some bitches as soon as his leg popped.
Mm, mm, mm.
So,
Listen,
but
they need to
I
go back
mean,
to just old
yeah,
school.
the question, Jay, was AC OKC is good. First of all, y'all know OKC won the championship 4 games to 3 last night. They took the championship. Uh, Shy Gillenillis Alexander became one of only 4 people who ever done the shit that he did this year, which was win a scoring title, win MVP, win MVP of the Eastern Conference final or the Western Conference final, and then won MVP in the damn championship final. One of 4 people, bruh. I never thought Shy. I didn't. I never thought SGA was anything more than us another little skinny kid who knew how to shoot. I didn't even think
Listen,
he. I didn't even think he was half the shit. I didn't. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
a
When I
I'm
first
gonna
heard of
go.
him, I thought he was half that shit. I didn't think
I'm
he
gonna
was
go to
half that shit.
conspiracy. I'm gonna go to conspiracy theory land, yo. Right
Why?
now, listen. Just hear me out. Hear
I
me
said
out.
why, Jay. I ain't arguing with you. I just
Okay.
want to know why.
The league tried to make Ja Morant the face. He was catching gun charges. They was like, we can't do it.
I
The
don't think
league,
that's a conspiracy. I just think he
no,
was.
no,
I don't think
wait.
he was ready for it.
The league wanted to make Anthony Edwards the face of the league. He like, yo, listen, I'm having kids and I ain't taking care of them. I pay the child support in a one shot deal.
There go that
Then it was
title.
like, who else can we get? Yo, SGA. If you go out there and say that you're a good father and you promote that and you promote all this positivity and good stuff, we'll make you the new face of the league. SGA was like, hey, I'm with it. Next thing you know, this guy getting
Wait a
MVPs,
minute
winning
now. So
championships, and
hold on, Jay. I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench in that shit, though. I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench in your little thought there. So why wouldn't you want Joker to remain the MVP when this dude was an equestrian lover? He loves his family. He's very matter of fact, he loves his family. Matter of
he's
fact,
not
they love
American.
him.
He's not American.
That fool got
See,
5 bodyguards in there.
listen, when he was Joker, everybody loved Joker and he was cool until he said, yeah, I want to go back home and chill with my horses and goats. I don't care about this. I want to go back home to my goats. That's when the NBA said, "Oh, okay, he don't care about us. Oh, we need somebody who's going to be the face and who's going to represent the NBA and be American and stuff like that." So that is just my wild rabbit hole theory.
Wait, Jay. You sure you that? Wait a minute. I don't think that's a fair. I don't think that's a fair chase. Cause
What?
look who has been the American. Shy is from Canada.
It's closer than whatchamacallit.
Jokic is Serbian. We don't
He's close.
even know what Jason did. Who else won a title? Who else won an MVP title recently?
I don't know.
Find an American
I couldn't tell you.
other than Steph Curry or
None.
LeBron.
That those are the last.
So I don't think the MVP has anything to do with. We should have seen this in a long. Dirk tried to tell you, yo, the fact that basketball is now the global sport. They can say whatever they fuck they want to about soccer, but the scores are still 1-0. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? They're running around for 98 minutes, and the score is still 1-0.
yeah.
I don't find anything. I don't find anything worldwide leading in that shit.
It's just because more people play and more people watch it.
Wait, hey Jay. Okay, so now let's put this out here to the whole world. I we're really switching off the subject here, Jay. You know that, but this is the
That's all right.
end of the show subject, right? So we can just do whatever the fuck we want, right? End
Exactly.
of the show. We were gonna change this show. We like EOS, end of show, but I was thinking of changing it to EOTS, end of this shit.
Okay. We can make that quick. We can make that edit.
Yeah, EOTS, the EOTS,
E
end of
O.
this shit. The EOTS, Jay, with periods, with little dots in there. The end of
They
this
call
shit.
periods.
I don't want nobody go about pause. Yeah, we call it the EOT, the EOTS.
Listen, you know the pauses are gonna come regardless, yo.
Word. So let's put some EOTs on there. So yeah, okay. So first of all, for the EOTs tonight, now that we changed it, okay. Oh, Jay, I should finish that statement about OKC. Are they a one and done, Jay?
Yeah.
We've had seven. We've had 7 champions in the last 7 years. We've had no repeats.
Mm.
That hasn't happened in that haven't had that hasn't happened in a while. That we don't have a repeat champion. Do you think they got enough to repeat?
No. I think.
What?
I think with a
Okay.
lot of
Okay. No.
people.
No. 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 Wait. Before you give me all that answer, what? What is OKC lacking that will keep them from winning a championship next year? Knowing how, remember, they had the best record in basketball this year. They were the overall number one team in the league this year.
That was this
What
year.
about them? What about them makes you say what you just said?
It's not necessarily them as a unit. It is just how the NBA works. Teams get better, teams get stronger, injuries happen, things take place. There's a lot of things that worked in their favor. If Halliburton didn't go down, do you think they lose? Do you think they still win? No. I mean, I personally don't think so. Um, so I just
I
think the
agree with that one
game.
though. I don't think they would have beat them anyway, right?
I just think the game it changes so much as far as trades and stuff like that that I don't see them winning another one next year.
We believe in theory and conspiracies here, folks. Now again, Jay already put a disclaimer, so I can say whatever the hell I want. We believe in these conspiracies because a lot of these things do seem a little strange.
Strange.
And if y'all want to argue, if you want to argue, I want y'all to think about this. Think of the big change that happened when Luca came to the Lakers. And nobody could ever imagine that that shit would have happened. You traded Anthony Davis, the best defensive player, if not one of the best defensive players in the league, for a fat white guy who everybody loved in Dallas. And we know he can ball, but is he really all that? I think
Yep.
that he showed everybody, but at what cost? At what price did he have to pay for this? Okay, what the price did the Lakers pay for this? So this conspiracy thing is getting big because then, like you said, all of a sudden the worst team in the league that didn't have no stinking chance to get maybe one of the best recruits out of college that we've seen in the past 10 years, way easy, because nobody believes that Cooper Flag is anywhere near the color that he be wearing on this planet right now, the way he balls. So I think it was a bit of a conspiracy too, because I just don't know how you can get away with that crap.
Things to make you go, that's what we can call it as.
Mhm. Definitely.
So,
Well, there I am. Where is he? Oh, there he
oh,
go.
I'm right.
Okay.
I'm right. I've been here. You the one who froze.
No, bro, you was in here spinning too. Don't be telling me that bullshit. I was sitting here
Nah, it
watching
was just
you.
you. It had nothing to do with me.
Okay. Watch. I'm sure that
Yeah.
if anybody's still left, y'all just get on in there and tell Jay, yep, you got the little circle of death going too, bro.
Nah, that was on your end.
I
That wasn't
sure
you froze on my screen and you just got stuck.
having the sunspots.
But
I got I got sunspots.
but
Shit.
ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
we don't want you to
hey, Jay. Since how hey, we doing this in an hour? Or we gonna give them a little bit more tonight. What we doing?
that's up to you. You know I got
All
60
right. Well,
minutes of
first off,
flavor.
let me get shout outs real quick. You know, I like giving shout outs. The other week we was giving shout outs to the University of Texas. My girl down there, Kay Henry. Kay, Dad, way to go. Hope y'all see it. All right, today I'm gonna give a shout out to somebody who needs some shouting out. That's a good friend of mine, Reginald Stanfield, his wife Maria and his family. Spent some time with him. He just retired. 40 years of federal service. Great man, great family man, great family. And we got a chance to see him this weekend. So I want to send a shout out to my peoples down there in Roxborough, North Carolina. Yo, D Rigger, love y'all. We'll be back again because y'all got a nice pool and
And
some big
maybe when
old
you come out here,
dogs.
you can hit me up,
Oh, hey,
uh,
how far is Roxborough from you?
it's not too far.
Oh, we might have to make that trip, Jay. We definitely,
Definitely not too
yeah,
far.
but hey, yo, definitely. Cause what they say in the farm business, we got some crops to trade. We got some crops to trade.
You said Roxborough?
But yeah, Roxborough.
Roxborough.
Hey, you ain't nowhere near Durham, is you? Yo, oh
bruh.
Jay, that was the question. Yo, can I? Yo,
I'm gonna put
you
it to you like this,
to ask you that question.
yo, if you come out the Roxborough and you don't hit me up, me and you we got beef,
I know now, Jay. I know now, Jay. I just
Well,
it's my first trip down there this weekend.
I
How
will put
close
it to
am
you
I?
like I'll put it to you like this: you are about 60 minutes away from me,
I said, yo, bro, next time. We know now. We just this was a find out. This was a straight find
and
out.
even if you
So
don't even come all the way
yeah,
out to where I'm at, I go to Green. I mean, I go to Durham or
don't
something
worry,
like
bro.
that. I
Don't
go to
worry. Don't
Raleigh.
worry. No, like I said, we got crops to trade. We got crops to trade. We got crops to trade. That
We
yeah,
definitely
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
chilling,
good.
huh?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
gonna be cool. But now I know. That's 3 hours,
Yeah.
Jay. That's only 3 hours.
I'm only a straight hour away, kid. 60 minutes.
So only 3.5, 4 hours. Okay. I say 3.5, Jay, because once we
Right.
get on the road, if there's the
Yeah, I
yeah,
know
it
you.
can be done.
Yeah, you gone.
From there to drive where they want them, but I can handle it.
But ladies and
But
gentlemen,
yeah,
please
that'll be
don't
good.
forget the other segments and the other programs that we have on the virtual man cave, right? Don't forget about the MLB weekly rundown with the MLB weekly rundown with Nate the Great every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. You know what I'm saying? 8:30 Central Standard Time, because you know Nate's on the West Coast. You know, even though he's not on the West Coast, he's on the West Coast in my mind. Um, don't forget that every Saturday at 10 o'clock. Every Saturday at 10 o'clock, between 10 to about 11:30, 12, we do the Virtual Man Cave podcast with it's the Cold Crew. It is me, myself, Model Citizen J, my good brother D Rigger, aka Unc. We got Arthur, we got Troy, we got the Mayor Corey. Of course, we got Nate the Great, we got Leo the Legend. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole team right there, son. And you know, we just be talking mad smack and stuff. Um, don't
You
forget
might
that we
have to
got
find us if you get on. Yeah. If you're looking
yeah,
for us, look on Virtual Man page on Facebook. If you one of our friends or if you know where we are, let us know so that we can go ahead and drop a line for you. Try to
yep.
give you a heads up on when we're gonna be out there now. Again, Jay is out here trying to put us on and make everybody a little bit more accessible in different
Hey,
little,
listen, man,
different little avenues. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to put us on different avenues and different little programs. So we haven't learned how to. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. We do know how to cook. Tell him, Jay. We do got some cooking skills,
oh,
so
we
we
gotta,
could
yeah, we definitely know how
we
to cook, and
we got to cook on the show. As a matter of fact,
we got a chef.
so
He got a show coming up in a little bit. You know,
uh,
he gonna show you how to cook some meals. Shout out to Troy.
and look, and we got to get Corey some kitchen props too. When he in there cooking that, what is it
Nah,
that ham
some
sausage?
ham turkey. What do you say? Ham
When he
turkey?
having ham, when he having ham turkey, when he have what was it? Or yeah, whatever turkey
Yo, that
ham
was
turkey.
crazy. Turkey
He
and
has the
ham.
most opposite of whatever it is, but he can cook it. That fool be in there cooking it.
Yeah,
He
he
got
the
to
only
come
one
on the
who
show
eats
next
it too.
time.
I've heard of spice ham, but I ain't never heard of no turkey ham. Now that's crazy.
Oh, yo, I want to give a shout out. I gotta give my shout outs to my people down in Florida. Yo, dog, Jay, we back on it. Look, bruh, ain't nobody wide eyed and bushy tailed to this mug. Go with me up there to my partner's house, bruh. And, blah, damn, we was yo, it's crazy shit. Boy, that's a long way to be going to go holler at somebody and beat their ass in dominoes.
Dang, you went all the way to Florida to beat somebody in dominoes.
Look, you know what? Why I'm saying that is because I want some trouble to go down. Because when I put it out there, then they'd be like, "Motherfucker, you know you only won one game." Blah 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 blah. Then maybe
Oh,
we can
okay.
have
So
some more guests, Jay. And then maybe we can have
okay,
some more guests out here trying to
you
rattle our
doing
cages, Jay.
you doing what I do. You doing what I do to Arthur. I be trolling him
Rile up
all the
the
time, and he
we gotta
falls for the
rile
bait.
up. We gotta rile up
You
the
rile
base,
him up.
baby. We gotta get them to come out. You ain't gonna be talking shit about me on TV, D. It's a
Hey man,
podcast,
listen,
motherfucker. I can say whatever I want.
listen. Tell the people to pull up, pull out, pull up, show out. You know, do what they do, yo. But Yo, before we get up out of here, is there anything you want to let the people know about what's going on? Anything upcoming?
Yeah,
Anything you want
first
to?
of all, I need y'all to recognize something real quick. June 28th is my birthday. All right, so I'm gonna give myself a shout out. Um, I already told y'all when I was born, so y'all figure out the age. But I want to tell y'all something. This won't be worrying about getting old. My body does enough of that for me. All right, it lets me know every single day my monkey ass is getting old. But whatever it is, bring it with some happiness and some joy and some positive thoughts so that we can celebrate, and whatever is mine at this time can be yours, and I'll share this happiness of being on my next trip around the sun, as best as possible. So yeah, Saturday on the 28th. uh if you know about it, send a shout out. I'd appreciate it. No
Yes,
cakes
because
unless it's lemon.
Uncle was born in 1866, y'all. 1866, June 28th.
I got one of them white wigs in there too that curl up over here on the side with a little tail on the back. Fix my little puffy collar. I'm gonna fix my little puffy collar shirt.
Nah, so all jokes aside though, more life, more energy, happy early birthday. We're gonna shout you out and show you love on the show on Saturday if you're not too busy
Uh,
partying.
I'm already there, Jay. You know how that is, boy. The
Listen, I
party don't
already
stop
know.
around here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the party don't stop. For
So
all
we
y'all
just
that don't understand, I am always enjoying myself. I don't have to do anything to party. But if y'all bring the party my way, it's on and popping, baby. Just remember that.
listen, we want to thank everybody who tapped in, tuned in, who left a comment, who viewed, who didn't leave a comment. If you can, man, hit the YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the Virtual Man Cave is here. And remember, y'all, this is D Rigger Presents Moments with Unc. See y'all next week, man. Love is love, yo. We up out of here, yo. Peace.
Peace, yo.